This is a channeled, timeless, collective reading for you whenever you see it or it finds you. How are you doing? I've got channel messages that came through ahead of time from my spirit guides, the angels and source. And of course, they'll bring through my spirit guides, the angels and source, any additional information that's for your highest good as we roll through these. So before I hit the red button for this reading and sat down and did this, as I was preparing for that, it was really interesting because I got all these very vivid visuals of like dragonflies and flowers blossoming. And I'm getting like the word nectar, and they're showing me nectar and all this. So a good message is that there's more sweetness coming into your world. I really feel like things are upgrading and going to be better. Even if you've gone through, they're showing me like a tornado, like some sort of metaphorical tornado or destruction or loss or unfavorable circumstances recently or anything like that, or could be in the distant past. But there's more sweetness entering in. You're blossoming into who you're meant to be over time. So don't worry about that. If you're worried about that, they're also showing me rest. So some of you need more rest or to take care of yourselves better. So if you're overworked or overburdened, it's time to hang up overworking and put yourself first to the right amount is what I'd say. And I know sometimes we have a lot to do, or we have a lot that's depending or riding on us as far as people we're taking care of, or a business or work or whatever like that. I'm not saying to shirk your responsibilities, but if you can and it lines up and you know you're able to put in the appropriate time for rest for you, it's going to pay dividends in how it adds to the rest of your work and things you need to do, if that makes sense, or other responsibilities. Because when you're more well rested and taken care of, you can show up better for others or for your mission, yada yada. You understand. With the dragonflies specifically that showed up, usually dragonflies have to do with evolution when they show up. I do feel like you are evolving into a new you. I feel like you have been for a while, but you're going to start to see it more blatantly. It's kind of like the butterfly trying to break its way out of the cocoon, if you will, or whatever you want to use for that analogy. It's time is what I'm getting and what I'd like to say. So you're going to start evolving into the new you very rapidly, or seeing signs of that, or showing up as the new you more quickly, if that makes sense, especially if it's taken a while to go in, or you feel like you've been in a transformation for a while. I just feel like I just keep hearing the words, it's time. So you're going to be more you, which is fantastic. They're also like, I haven't even gotten to what came through ahead of time, but they're just saying success is coming for a lot of you. Like, I feel like it's time. At the very latest, I feel like it's the next few years, honestly. And I know that's a bit of a far way out, but one, you've waited this long. Two, I'm just telling you what I'm getting and the channel messages I'm getting, and I'm not going to pull things out of my butt, and I'm not going to blow smoke up yours to the best of my ability. So I'm just going to do my best to tell you what I'm getting and what the information you need to hear is. So at the very latest, like the next few years, but you are on that road to success. And I personally, you'd probably rather be on that road to success in the next few years than not at all, or something like that. And, some people wait decades for success. And I'm not saying that's going to be you or me or anything like that. That's just the other thing they're kind of just saying to round out the equation of what they are telling you with this message is at least you don't have to wait like 50 years, decades, 10 years, something like that. And yeah, for some of you have like a long game you're approaching, and it's going to take some time perhaps for the long game you're playing and the big, long, overarching dreams. At the same time, I don't want to limit it and say those things can't show up sooner. It's just, and those things can happen too. But just know that more success is coming. You understand what I'm saying with all that, of course. Next, they're showing me a snowman. They're kind of jumping around a little bit with the reading and the order things came in with, but that's okay by me. So with snowman, what they kind of said ahead of time is anywhere you've been, well, they might want to go a different direction with it. So what's up here? I just feel like you're being unfrozen. I don't feel like all of you have been frozen, but if you've been like frozen and like unable to take action, or felt frozen in your tracks in some way, maybe you were scared of something, you're about to be unfrozen and thawed out. And that's what they said here is like, if you've been frozen, you're being thawed out, whether it has been like a frozen period for healing, or you just needed help moving forward, something's coming to help you move forward, or you're getting the ideas and inspiration, yada, yada. But you're being unfrozen so you can move forward. And now I'd like to go to the kind of the first message that came through. And the first thing that came through, they showed me the words going up, and they showed me Superman with this, so like up and away, or going up. That's really, it's not the first message anymore. But what came through as the first message was, it's time for you to go higher. The universe is going to be elevating you on all levels and ensuring you get to where you need to go. So they've been giving me this message recently, but they're giving me the phrase and showing me you being pulled out of the old world. Whatever the old world is for you. It could be like 3D and 3D mindset. Could be poverty mindset, I guess, for some of you. It could be you're moving, or just everything's changing around you. You're changing internally. Everything's changing. But you're really headed to this new world and just being taken to a higher elevation, higher than ever before. So I would trust that. I'd be a little bit patient if you need to with that. But I feel like things are conspiring to push you up, if that makes sense. But again, the universe is going to be elevating you on all levels and ensuring you get to where you need to go. So just keep that in mind, that that's happening right now. They're showing me like the old world crumbling away. I feel like it's personal though. I know like collectively that's happening, where a lot of the old things are going away. And the new is birthing that's higher dimensional, of the true highest light, higher consciousness, intuition. You get it. But that's like happening for you personally too. And maybe it's a bit subtler right now, or it seems like it's a bit at a lesser level. Because maybe some of you are already there, like you've kind of gotten to that higher vibration, and you're already holding that and helping the world get to that. And all of you are, is what I'm hearing. But you might still have certain things like in your life that need to go, that collapse for the highest good. I don't feel like it's going to be anything major right now, if any of you are hearing that and are freaking out. But I don't know. I'm just hearing it's time for the new world, and that's going to start birthing. And when you're being taken higher like this, what would be highest message for me to say for you about this one here? Just know you might be releasing some things or seeing some distraction, but it's all for the highest good, and it all pans out as well in your favor down the road, or even soon. So the next thing they'd like me to get to here, the other thing they're saying with this like going higher thing is like your life is going higher. So you might feel like your life is at a higher level, like work, career, people around you, things like that. It's like hitting this new frequency bandwidth, and I would keep going up and up and up. That's going to be what helps transform the world, is what I'm getting, even if it's just you personally, because you're dragging everything up with you. And it's not like you're like attached to these things and they're weights and they're holding you down or anything like that. It's just the natural way things evolve sometimes is the individual evolving, and it causes everything else around them to evolve, and the world is a result of that, whether you think of it as above, so below, or a mix of direct impact and indirect impact, and like etheric as above, so below, whatever you consider it. Either way it works, and all of it can be true is something I'm getting as well. So just know you're bringing everything up with you in a positive way. That's for the highest good. I'm hearing a very strange message as well, if you need to hear this, and it's not perhaps not my framework of what I would say, but they're just kind of saying like eventually you'll get to this level where evil can't get to you, is like the message I heard, or the sentence I heard. Like some of you, not all of you, are worried about all of these like dark things getting to you, or from others, or hopefully you don't think it's from the universe, because that doesn't check out to me, but maybe it's something you're worried about for some reason. And I'm just hearing like eventually that stuff just can't get to you. Like either it no longer exists because you got to a certain level, or you just add a vibration where it can't even touch you. And if anyone tells you it's impossible to get there, don't listen to them. I don't want to necessarily say they would perhaps be trying to bring you down. Some of them perhaps are, but others just don't realize that's possible. So don't let others limit your possibilities in what can show up for you and how you can be divinely protected, anything like that, if that makes sense. So next, they showed me snow, and they said if you've been snowed out of any opportunities, metaphorically, that is going away. So you are getting opportunities that were meant for you, that still are meant for you, of course, that you were supposed to get, whether you missed them in the past, or they missed you, or got lost in translation or something, whether it was a person or other opportunity. I'm also getting the opportunities that are for you are coming back around. So, I mean, that was part of that message. The thing in addition to that is that for some of you, these are new opportunities you just haven't gotten yet. Like it hasn't been the right time, or you are in the right place is something I'm getting, but I feel like if you miss an opportunity, it's coming back around, and you can't miss what's for you. Of course, the universe will work it out so it happens. And there are like things that are not for you that you can't force to happen no matter what. Like too divinely protected. And there are also things that are for you. And so let me make sure I said that right. There are things that are not for you that you can't force to happen, but there are things that are for you that no one can stop from happening. The universe itself couldn't stand in the way. And why would it? When it's the one that ordained that this should happen, if that makes sense. So there are things that are for you coming in that it would be very difficult, if not impossible, for you to miss. But they'll keep circling back to you again. So might as well receive them now, or do your best to receive them now. Even if you just set the intention right now to receive what's for you, what's for that's good for you to receive, could be something you consider right now with this reading. So after that snow, that's when they show me snowman, where you're being thought out. Beyond that, next, we're actually skipping one. They show me like a military man, or like a minute man, which I forget the exact definition, but it was kind of like people back in the olden days in the military who would be ready in like a minute if the army called upon them or whatever. This is probably like the 17 or 1800s, I think, was when that was. And I could be wrong. So, but the message here is you are being called to action in your life. It's time to go. Do not hold back on the actions you need to take. Source is calling you to service for the highest good in your own unique way, or is calling you to take action on your dreams for the highest good. So we'll balance this out with the first message that came through as I started this reading about like resting, if you need to rest, if you feel overworked. Don't overdo it if you need to rest. However, once you're ready to go, I would heed this message here where it's time to go and like take action and do what you feel called to do. And even if this particular message gets delayed a little bit, like a month, because you need rest or something else needs to come in or yada, yada, you aren't going to miss this. Like you'll be called to action at the right time, but pretty soon here, you're going to be putting the pedal to the metal or called to do that. And that's a good idea regarding a business, your dreams, an outcome you desire, whatever it is. And I feel like source is going to keep calling, true highest misinfinite source will keep calling until you answer, if that makes sense regarding this. So you're not going to miss this, but I would consider taking action now if you can, or if you need rest, as soon as you feel like you're in the place for it, or feel that kick in the pants from the universe, like, no, now, if that makes sense. Next, they showed me they showed me tank treads, and like these, like the treads that are on like a tank. And they gave me the word traction, but they showed like this tank getting up over this like this hill or something like that. So the message was getting up over the hump so you can move forward. And just sometimes we just have a bit of inertia to overcome. And I'm just getting that you are overcoming it. And that could tie in with the last message we just got to as well, where it's time to go. I feel like the universe is giving you the push you need to get over the hump and overcome inertia and accomplish what you need to or move forward. If you don't need to rest, I don't feel like now is a good time to sit still and do nothing, interestingly enough. I feel like this is a time of action whenever you're seeing this, aside from the rest you need. So, and if you're confused, I don't feel like you are confused about how to do that, because the second I went to go talk about it, they're like, no, don't talk about that. So, okay, I'm going to trust that you get that and you know how to discern and balance things out for yourself with that. Or follow your own intuition on that, or try. Next, they showed me a volcano, and they said, well, there's more with the tank treads here. So what's this about? If you've been having trouble getting traction in your life to move things forward or do whatever, you're about to get traction is something I'm getting, which is good. Keep trying. Show me a volcano next, but in this message is about you being led away from the things that have caused you destruction in the past. So anywhere things have been destructive for you, like especially in the past, like in a negative way, you are getting reprieve from that and are just getting led away from it so you can prosper, is what I get it. Whether prosperity is money or something else that means prosperity to you. Probably money, though, is what I'd say. I feel like there are things that have been blown up in your life for a reason, and they're just saying, like, heed that and move forward. If it's something blew up, it's for a reason. It's leading you to better. Trust the things that work and trust the things that don't work is, of course, what I'd say with that too, and what I'm getting to say. The next message here, they gave me the words good luck. They showed me a stopwatch with this for whatever reason. They just said, you are getting good luck, keep going. So pretty self-explanatory and quick on that message. I feel like that's just coming in, which is fine. They're also showing me, give me 1 second here. We're just gonna move to the next one. So with the next one, they showed me the squid, and the squid was like grasped onto an anchor. And they also showed the squid like wrapping its tentacles around something like out of the water, and it looks like a metal bar or something. It looked like it might be in like some type of oceanic boathouse or a cave, or it was very strange. But the squid like wrapped its arms around this thing and pulled itself out of the water. And we kind of already talked about this, but there might be some additional things to get to. They said you are being pulled out of a slow period if things have been slower for you and hoisted out of the water. Your dreams are going to become more palpably real. Squid is calling you to hoist yourselves out of any slowness and take action if you don't need rest, of course, and know that it is possible for you guys to achieve what you'd like to achieve. Also, if you need to hear this, any like ancient healing you have like needed to accomplish in order to move forward is done. So it's time to move and be hoisted out of the old world. God is moving you forward. Pretty much that's the whole message I got with all that, which is interesting, but hopefully that's helpful as well. They're also showing me this coral reef in the word rare. This is very strange as a message, but if you've been like damaging anything in your life that's like important or rare, or like a rare opportunity or friendship, you're going to be called to stop doing that, of course. And maybe some of you don't. I don't want you to freak out. So let me get the best way to say this that's not going to get you to freak out. I'm going to help for the highest good with this. Like maybe there's a relationship you've been questioning that maybe you shouldn't question, or maybe, hopefully not, but maybe you've been damaging your reputation or doing something to do that, and maybe you haven't realized it or something like that. I feel like it's going to be pointed out to you where to stop doing things that are damaging rare opportunities for you or damaging certain things for you. And I feel like you're going to be stopped from doing that. So I feel like anywhere that is happening, it's going to stop. So I don't think I'd freak out about that too much, but maybe some of you need to run maybe not all, but some of you need to run some sort of damage control with a relationship you've neglected, or something you haven't been doing that you need to do, or something like that. Very interesting. And hopefully you know what this is about. And I don't even think that message is for all of you. It's for a select few of you who feel like you've been damaging things and maybe you're not sure why, or maybe you just feel like things have not been going your way. I feel like it's all going to be, well, what was the message here? I feel like you're going to be stopped from damaging things any further, if that's you. Very strange message. But there's like the coral reefs are like these rare, awesome beings almost, or colonies, and they get destroyed, but it's probably not good that they're destroyed, all that stuff. Anywhere you're hurting yourself is going to stop, is essentially what I'm getting with that one. They're also kind of showing how coral reefs will like break waves, or perhaps keep certain waves from hitting the shore as hard as they otherwise would. So I feel like you're also divinely protected from waves completely tanking your life, or rolling your ship over, or bringing you down, if that makes sense. Like whether that it's not like the waves of change won't hit you because of the coral reefs. It's more like where things would be devastating for you, things aren't going to be quite as like devastating for you at all. Like they might not be devastating at all. It might just be an easy wave to ride instead of total destruction or something like that. So you're divinely protected is what I'd say. But if you do ever notice you're damaging something important to yourself, just stop doing that is what I'd say, if you gain that awareness through this or sometime in the future. Next, they showed me a moving truck or moving van. They just said, if you're switching locations, it's a good idea. Some of you will be called to move soon and didn't realize you would be. I don't feel like it will be necessarily the case if you've moved very recently or something like that. This is for those of you who might feel stuck or have a new opportunity coming in where you'd have to move. Not going to be all of you though. So for others of you here, you might have some good things moving into your life if you're not moving. So be open to that is what I'd say. And I have two more messages that came through ahead of time. They showed me golden skies and just said new opportunities are coming. So you are heading on your golden, whatever your path for you, that's a golden path. Like you're going to be heading down that soon. And like, it's because of changes that are occurring, or the changes that are occurring or will. So they also just wanted to mention, we kind of already talked about it, but any opportunities that closed, it's been for your highest good. It is time for new. So some of you had some old things that closed down and you're like, what gives? And you have some new things coming in, is what I'd say, that are much better. Or you're being rerouted in your destiny, or towards what you're moving towards, more than likely, maybe not in your destiny, in a way where I feel like your path finally opens up, because I hear the word finally, and it's like, I feel like you have breathing room and you're able to move forward, and it feels like you're on the right track. That's coming in for sure. But it's like new opportunities is what I'd say with this one. And like, the right golden path for you, if that makes any sense. They're showing me a stingray as well. I feel like you're afraid of certain things like stinging you, but you're actually divinely protected. And they're showing me this very interesting visual of someone in the water, and they have this like Mother Mary's there, for some reason Mother Mary's showing up, and you have this like invisible shield around you, and there's this like crowd of stingrays all around you, like trying to stab you with their tail, which is not the normal nature of stingrays, to my experience. But in this visual, it's what's happening. They're all around you like, bah, 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 and they're hitting this like invisible shield. And some of you are just really afraid of life, like really hurting you or really bringing you down or taking you out of the game or something. I don't feel like it's going to happen, is something I'm getting regarding this. So very interesting, but keep that in mind. Lastly, they showed me an eagle, and they just said, newfound freedom will find you. Don't give up on your dreams. So some of you just need to not give up on your dreams. And I feel like for all of you, some form of freedom is on the way, like more breathing room in your life. It could be more money that brings you more freedom. A new situation that has more freedom, when you're leaving some sort of restriction or something like that. I just feel like it's time for it to manifest, and it's long overdue. So you're going to start to see that edge into your existence if it hasn't already started to show up for you. And that's kind of it for this reading, is what I'm getting. They're showing me a scorpion as I go to close out, and the words beware. I don't like this. So but if it's something you need to hear that's going to help you, let me see what's up with this one here. They're kind of talking about how there might be some things around you, and I don't want you to freak out about this message. And if I can get something more specific to help you identify this, I'll do my best. But there might be some things around you that are like poisonous, or like hazardous to maybe even like your long-term desires, or to you in some way. It could even be like, I know we just talked about the other flip side of this, but certain relationships that are leading you away from things that are important to you, or that are harmful for you in some way. So if you notice something is toxic for you, like stay away from it, is pretty simply what I'd say. Like if you feel really crappy every time you hang out with someone, like stop hanging out with them. If you notice a food is always bringing you down every time you eat it and you feel like crap and laid out, maybe like take breaks from that food. If you feel like you're feeling worse after any type of alcohol than you normally would, like stop drinking it, is what I'd say. Take a break from it. But anything you notice is toxic or poisonous for you, you've got to stay away from it, is what I'd say, energetically, or otherwise. So that's it. They're also showing me a sparrow as I go to close this out, but they do really want me to close this out. I just say you're meant for more than just normal, is what I'm getting with that, which is typically what I do get when a sparrow shows up. So, and you have more than normal coming. Like some of you think things are just going to be ho-hum going forward, like the next year, 3 years, 4 going forward. And I think life has a lot of surprises and a lot of better than average things. And hopefully even way better than that, is what I'd say. But you're not here just to be normal, and you're not here to just experience normal, is what I'd say. There's like more, far more for you, however much you'll allow in. So I would do that. But that is it. I hope that has been helpful for you. Sorry, there's one more thing that we need to get to, because they showed me this cloud. They're just saying, like, rain doesn't last. So if you feel like you're going through rain clouds or a rainy season or tough times or anything like that, it is temporary, is what I'm getting for you. It won't last forever. Eventually things do get better. So hang in there if that's you. And not all of you will be going through that probably, but that's the last thing they want to say. So hope that helped and did whatever was for your highest good and resonated. If you liked that, I do have a free newsletter with channel messages that I send out every month that you can sign up for on my websites, or I post on other platforms as well, as most of you are familiar with. And beyond all that, I'm wishing you well, and I will see you on another post.